My name's Harry Rollins, and we want to mention about the Salvation Army's Samaritan Center. The Samaritan Center is an extremely wonderful place if you've got somebody that wants to have help during the daytime. You like my wife, she's just tickled to death here. If you want a wonderful place to have your people well taken care of and loved and so forth, they'll do it right here.
Thanks for tuning in and watching Lancaster Perspective Day. I'm Mike Miller. My special guest is Molly Clark, the Executive Director of 211. Molly, how you doing?
I'm doing great today, thank you.
Now we have to let people know that information referral is now 211.
That's correct.
Okay.
We're officially Information and Referral of Fairfield County, but we do business as Fairfield County 211.
And we did some radio shows together years ago.
We have.
Since that, actually, you got married in the last, what, year?
9 months.
9 months?
9 months, got married, moved to a different county, have a whole different life. It's very, very different than it used to be.
Enjoying it?
Love it. Love it, except for country life has not been kind to me. I've had a lot of, I found out about deer flies, and there's just been several incidents that have happened that I thought, well, that would have never happened on 6th Avenue in Lancaster. So I'm learning a lot about country life.
So that's good. So you're going to stay in the country? Are you gonna,
Absolutely. We have a big Massey Ferguson tractor that I can handle.
Wow, no kidding.
That. Yes, I drive that. We
Really?
mow the grass. Sure.
Wow, that is fantastic.
Yep, I'm doing a lot of mowing.
Well, anytime you want to, you come to my house, and you can bring your Massey tractor and mow my yard whenever you want. It would probably take you one swipe, maybe two.
Probably.
And you would be done.
We do about 5 acres, and I have to push mow a lot, and that's one of my passions. I love to mow, and I love to wash cars, so any man would love to have me.
Wow. So you wash the tractor, too? They don't let you wash the tractor?
No, he polishes the tractor. It's waxed. But I wash the cars and keep everything going that way, and love it. Love being outside.
Kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And my
I don't
dog?
know anybody that's ever polished a tractor before.
Oh, yeah, he waxes it. Oh, definitely. It's red and it's shiny.
Wow.
It has a horn
neat.
and everything. It's pretty cool.
That's neat.
And I was going to tell you, my dog, Penny, loves it there. I thought she was okay in the city, but we got to the country and she loves it there.
Really?
Yes, she runs around. The only thing she can chase are like hawks up in the sky, and she looks up and she chases them, and she's having a ball out there.
Well, that's great.
It's really great for both of us.
That is fantastic. Well, I'm glad life is treating you well.
It is very good.
211 is a referral, information referral, and you talk about a couple different referrals that you offer. There's food, financial assistance, medication assistance, eyeglass assistance, holiday assistance, school clothes, which we're going to talk about in just a minute, housing locator, and Ohio benefit bank screening.
That's
just stuff going on.
That's just some of the examples.
Yeah.
We really, our mission statement is building a better Fairfield County by linking people with community resources, and that's what we're like, the middlemen. We hear what the problem is, and then we assess it, and then we send people to where they can get the best help for what their need. And it's worked out really well. We give agencies a lot of business in Fairfield County.
Now, 211 is, you're just dialing 211 and it goes directly to your office. And
That's
then,
correct. You can. You can dial 211 on a landline or cell phone. Now, we have had some glitches. It's not perfect. Sometimes it might send you to Cleveland. If the cell phone doesn't know what to do, it can bounce you around to different towers, different phone towers. And up in the Pickerington area, sometimes they get, it's called Hands On Central Ohio. It's the Franklin County version of us. And so it's just most of the time when you dial 211, you can get us. And this is how you'll know, because when you dial 211, it will say, "Thank you for calling Fairfield County 211. If you get anything else, then you're going to know that you don't have our agency. We also have a landline number, which you can dial as well, 740-687-0500.
And that's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week?
24/7. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We really do. We help people with problems day or night. Now, obviously, if you call for a food order at 11 at night or so, which has happened, we're not going to be able to fill that order until the next day.
Sure.
So, but sometimes people will call because they're homeless and they're looking for a place to stay at night. Then we have this other component to our agency, which is our mental health crisis line. And we find we get a lot of calls on that at night. That's also 24/7. And you won't get, thank thank you for calling, anything. You will get a live voice saying, this is a crisis line, how can I help you?
And these are trained professionals that are answering the phone. These aren't necessarily volunteers. I don't want to say that.
No, these are employees that are paid through Information and Referral, or Fairfield County 211. Our on-call consists of 2 people that are employed by us directly, and they work at our office as well. And then we also have 2 people that are employed at another agency, and they work for us just at night and on the weekends, because we do need a little bit of extra assistance answering those calls.
If you're just tuning in, I'm talking with Molly Clark, the Executive Director of 211 Information Referral, also a tractor driver, has a massive tractor that she's enjoying. How did you get involved in 211 Information Referral?
Well, back in 2006, the person that was the director there got ill and had to step down, and Family Adult Children First Council with Becky Edwards and Sherry Orlando from United Way and the Adam Board, some of the agencies got together and they decided that maybe it needed a little rehab. It was a time to kind of restructure and look at things and kind of get us built up to the place that we should be. So I was hired kind of under the wings of Family Adult Children First Council, and had that relationship for several years. And then now I'm on my own, and we've always been a nonprofit. But it was definitely what I coin as extreme makeover from the inside out. We moved to this partnership that we have with the Adam Board enabled us to move down to the Education Service Center, which is right downtown, the old Lancaster City Schools Education Service Center. It's by the fountain. And we also are in the same offices. We have an office, and then beside us is Family Adult Children First, and then down the road there is the Adam Board. So we have a great partnership and a great relationship, and we sublease from the Adam Board. They actually lease from Lancaster City Schools. And thanks to that partnership from the Adam Board, we're able to get sophisticated phone system, and that allows callers to wait in queue. So while they're waiting, they can hear messages about, did you know that Fairfield County 211 can help with eyeglass assistance? And, there's all kinds of messages that are playing. And then also there's the great thing about being with them, we can collaborate on projects and things together. It's been a win-win.
Now, how many calls do you get a month? I mean, not necessarily for the mental health crisis, but just in general, how many calls do you take?
We can get any place from 3,000 to 4,000 calls a month. It depends on the month. And the first quarter of this year, we had 7,640 food orders.
Holy! Now, we talk about food orders. These are foods for families that are coming in, and individuals also?
Families and individuals can call us anytime during our office hours, and we can point them in the direction of food pantries. That's our primary, it seems like that's our primary referral, that when people call in, they need food. And our specialists are really great at that. We employ, I think there's 6 or 7 of us that work there every day, and we also have some from senior employment, and we have a AmeriCorps, Positive Balance. We have different sources for people that work there.
Sure.
But they call in, and the first thing we say is, where would you like to go? And we get in our database and see if they've ever called us before. And if not, we get some limited information from them. And then we're able to ask them where they'd like to go, and then we kind of point them in the direction of what's available.
Now, we talk about food banks, and I know through Central Ohio the food banks are pretty low. How are we doing with the food bank?
There's always a need. And coming up June 21st is a Pack the Pantry through United Way, and they're going to do a big thing right downtown with us, and there's several other pantries involved. And if you or an organization would like to donate food, there's going to be like the rally in the alley. You can go right down the alley there by Broad Street and deliver the food, and it's all going to go to the local food pantries, because summer is a time when people need food just as much as winter.
And that's coming up June 21st?
June 21st, Pack the Pantry.
That's now, we talked a little bit earlier about all the different things that you become involved with. I know that you talked about eyeglasses, but housing locator. Is there something that sticks out more than normal? I mean, do people call for, I need food all the time, or I need clothing, or...
We have people that call all the time, and we also have, first-time callers. It depends on their situation. We've noticed that many times anymore, there are people that used to give to food pantries are now receiving the food because of job layoffs and cuts, and it's been amazing how our services have grown when others are shrinking because of the social service needs. We have Patty Morrow that
Sure.
works with us as a housing locator, and she does this document called Project House Call, and it's available, affordable rentals, and it's on our website, and it's also, you can pick it up, and we distribute it to, I think, 25 different agencies in town. So that's readily available. She updates that like once every 2 weeks.
And what is the website?
www.fairfieldcounty211.org.
The as you do different parts of the season, and right now you've got a clothing drive that's going on.
Well, it's not really a clothing drive as much as it's noticed that
Right.
Charity Newsies, it's a long-standing partnership that we've had with Charity Newsies, and they are wonderful to us, and we help them. So right now we're in the process of taking applications for school clothes. So we wouldn't want anybody to deliver school clothes to our office per se, but we would definitely want them to encourage them to apply or let other people know. Charity Newsies has done this for years, and I think last year they did like over 620 kids. So
Wow.
they're able to clothe a lot of kids, and this is for 1st through 12th graders only. And it's kind of a long summer process. And believe it or not, this is only June, and we're already talking about applying for this. It's very limited income, and we can talk about that in a minute if you want. But they need to call us or come in. There's an application on our website, and it's also located in our office, and they need to complete that. That's the first step. And then we look to see about their eligibility. And really, it doesn't end until August 13th. It's a Saturday in August when the members from Charity Newsies come into our office and they meet with each family that's going to get a voucher. And then they send them to Kmart, and they're able to get the clothes. They take their kids, and they're able to get the clothes that they like for their kids within a, they get a voucher.
Now, when they come in to apply, I mean, they go online and apply, but do they need to bring anything with them, driver's license? Social Security?
Absolutely. All their ID, especially proof of income, because it is very limited. Since Charity Newsies is probably the only agency that's doing school clothes this year, they have made it 100% of the federal poverty guideline, which that's pretty low.
Yeah,
a mother
that's-
and a child could maybe make $14,000 a year to qualify. So it's disheartening, and it's disappointing to some of the families that just, make a little bit over that, and they can't afford them either. But, Charity Newsies had to find some way to make the cut so that they would be able to say, okay, this far down, you can have the assistance, and if you make more money than that, then I'm sorry, you're not eligible. But there are some clothing pantries in Fairfield County, and that's on our website as well, and we want to point families in that direction.
And this is first come, first serve?
Well, we want to try to fill up the list. There's not a waiting list at this point, but if it gets to the point that we get close, then we'll start letting everybody know. When they call in, we'll put it on our website. Maybe we'll come back on with you and let everybody know
Sure,
that,
yeah.
that we have filled our slots, and we appreciate them applying this year, but we're finished. Usually we can take it pretty much right up till the end because it's the families that's such a limited income, that there's a lot of families that don't know.
Is there a limit on the number of years that people can get assistance for clothes?
Charity Newsies has the rule that they really would only like to serve people for 3 years. Even if you have a 1-year-old now and a 6th grader, 3 years is about their limit because they want to spread it around to other families in Fairfield County.
Now, does everybody go to the same place, or are you going to have like kindergartners go to this area and another one go to different schools, or?
Well, that's the unique part about it because the interviews at our office will all happen on that Saturday, and then they will be instructed. There's, I think, 5 different days at Kmart when different families, depending on the first letter of your last name, you'll go to Kmart, and then you'll just have free reign at Kmart. You'll pick up your voucher, and you'll just be able to shop. And your kids can get shoes and clothes, underwear, socks. The only thing that they can't get are school supplies, because Charity Newsies has another program for that where they deliver them to the schools. And then if the child needs the supplies, they go to the school secretary.
That's interesting. And how many kids? Was 630?
Last year was 620, over 620 kids. It just depends because they kind of have to watch how much money they have, and maybe a child that's 5 through 8 would get less, as far as a voucher than somebody that's in high school, a little bit less. So they kind of weigh it out per child so that they can help more families.
And you've been working with Charity Newsies how long? Doing?
Well, I've been there since 2006, but this has been an ongoing partnership for years, and I'm not sure how many. I know information and referral was in existence for over 30 years, so I'm not sure when the partnership really was formulated, but it's been going on. And see, we have this other thing that Charity Newsies does in the Christmas time. They do holiday food baskets.
Right.
And we also are like the front line for that as well. So we really have a great partnership. Jim Bose is the chief investigator for Charity Newsies, and he serves on our board. So we have
that's
a great
neat.
relationship.
Now, do you see a turn? We talked earlier about the number of people that used to donate are now asking for assistance. Are you seeing more and more people asking for assistance?
Absolutely. And what we're facing right now is another crisis. It's the mental health crisis. We do get money from the Fairfield County Atom Board to fund this line that we have, the crisis line. And it's just for the frontline calls. In other words, if we get somebody that is suicidal and they are really needing serious help, we warm line them to Fairfield Medical Center. And there's an office there in the emergency room that is staffed by New Horizons. So it's really a partnership.
Yeah.
And what we're seeing is there's so many funding cuts with the mental health agencies that more and more people are going to be instructed and are currently using our crisis line because they don't know where to turn, and there are many, many people that are hurting.
Is it a situation that, is it young people, is it adults?
It is all across the board. And statistics have showed that it's like older white males that will commit suicide and they will not call. They will just do it. When we first took this line, we did have some training, and we were told that the person that calls the line will either want an audience or they will want help. And so far, they've all wanted help. We've never had anybody that's actually completed suicide when they've been on our line.
So when you say audience or help, what's the difference between the two?
Well, if they want an audience, it means that they're going to complete suicide and they want you to hear it. They want you to know that that's happening, and they do it without you having too much control over it. If they want help, then they're saying, I'm going to kill myself and I'm going to do it with a knife, but then they're pleading for intervention, and that's where our specialists will assess the situation and help them.
And how many specialists do you have, intervention specialists? Is it just one or two?
Well, there's only 5 of us right now that answer the mental health crisis line. The 4 on call, and then there's the 3 of us out of that pool that are in the office.
So
that
do you
can
yourself
it.
answer the phone?
Absolutely. I'm a licensed social worker and I have a degree, but the staff that we have do not.
And you went to you went to the
Oh,
school
I'm a
north.
Buckeye all the way.
That's
Come on.
right.
It's all about the Buckeyes.
I was just wondering.
Yeah.
But how did you decide to do that? How did you want to become a licensed social worker?
Oh, years and years ago. I remember in high school, I went to Bloom Carroll High School, and the coach that did the history class, that's kind of how it goes. Coach John Roller, he was up there, and he said, how many of you want to be in the helping profession? How many of you want to be social workers? And like half the class raised their hands. And he said, well, I'm going to tell you something. Half of you won't be social workers. You just think you want to help people. And I thought, okay, Coach Roller, you watch me, buddy, because I am going to be a social
I know
worker.
you well enough that I can understand that.
And so it all worked out, and that's always what I want to do. I've always been driven to help people. I've always felt a responsibility toward the community, and I know that as long as we can make a difference, then we need to keep going with it.
Yeah. And if Molly Clark had to describe their perfect job, what would it be? I don't know what you're doing now. I mean, if somebody said, write a job description for your perfect job.
For me personally,
yes.
It would be mowing grass and washing cars.
Really?
I just love being outside.
Do you?
I really do. I love seeing a dirty car and making it clean. It makes me so happy. I feel like I've done something good. And
well, you should have some car washes, and then you can make some money.
I'm a true vegetarian, and I love animals, and it's something outside definitely would be a great thing for me. I would do well with that.
Now, when we talk about vegetarian, how long have you been a vegetarian? I know some people
for years, like 15, 16 years now.
Was there a driving force that
Absolutely. One Easter, I looked at a little baby chick I was holding in my hand, and I looked at him and I said, I will never eat you again. And I mean, I just have been... And my kids are vegetarians too, and it's interesting because one of their spouses is even a vegetarian. So I don't know what it is with us, but that's just kind of the way we went.
Wow.
Now my husband is a meat eater, but he does good with veggie burgers. I mean, he's getting into these salads and stuff. He really is. He's healthier now than he's been, and he knows that it's because of this vegetarian lifestyle that I lead.
Well, that is interesting. I didn't know about that. That's really interesting. I'm learning new about this country girl, Molly Clark, that I've always thought of working in an office.
Yeah, it just kind of came out of me when I moved out there. It was like, yes, I like hearing the chickens crow and the cows moo and the crows caw. It's been like a more relaxing experience for me. I don't consider myself a very relaxed person. I'm always like very tense and ready to go.
Do you set goals for yourself? And,
set goals
2
for
years
myself.
have to be, or 5 years have to be do that?
We set goals for ourselves as a couple now, which is real different for me because I was single for so long. But I do set goals for myself. I think one thing, Fairfield County 211 needs to be accredited, and that's something that's going to take major work, and it's going to be a big, big adventure. But if we could be
accredited through
the Ohio, well, it's not Ohio, it's the Alliance for Information and Referral Systems, which is AIRS, AIRS, and it's a national movement. It's also in Canada, and this is something that since we became designated as a 211 call center, and that was a big deal too, getting designated. We had to get letters from the community, and it was very much a big transition. And so you can dial 211 and get us. Then within 3 years after we become designated, we are to be accredited through AIRS, which is, it's got a lot of benefits. One of the main ones being we'll have like a uniformity to us, and you'll be able, like Ohio United Way or somebody going after funding to help us, it would be much more consistent in our data, and they'd be able to use that to be united. Then also it's the standards. I mean, everybody will meet the same standards, and it will make changes in each organization.
So 211 is in every county in the state?
No, 211 is available nationwide, but many counties don't have it. We were the 21st call center in Ohio, and there's 88 counties. Now, some of the call centers go together, 2 and 3 county collaboratives. We were a single county, and there's not too many of those in Ohio. Since we've become 211 designated, there's been a few other call centers that have. And the goal would be to reach out to all of the counties in all of the United States to have 211 call centers. But it takes money.
So do you get together and talk about when you go to these other counties and
yes,
see
there's
this idea works, this didn't work? And
yes, we have this whole little listserv going, and there's an Ohio AIRS meeting that meets quarterly, and then they meet, the board members of Ohio AIRS meet monthly. And it's always insightful for me. It's always good to go and talk to my coworkers and peers, because you feel like you're in this county and you're doing all this stuff and you're not sure how it's really going, and then when you measure yourself against other counties, it really does help you see. It's like a barometer. It's really great.
Have you ever gone to a meeting and done those benchmarking and said, boy, why aren't we doing that?
Oh, sure. I mean, we started out and we had what we called, they were index cards, but we kind of called them little recipe cards. And when a client would call, we had a file with all these alphabetical little recipe cards, and we would pull it out, and the person's whole information was all on this little card. And since we've been there and done that, and we were still doing it when people were, they had their sophisticated databases and their computers. We've come a long way, baby.
Oh yeah,
we
absolutely.
have come a long way.
Now, how long will accreditation take? You talked earlier about you like to be accredited. Is it a 6-month process, a year process?
It is a big process. They give you 3 years. Ohio AIRS gives you, or the AIRS, but I keep saying Ohio AIRS because that's what I'm familiar with. They give you 3 years, and so we are in the 2nd year of it, and it's just. It's little things, it's big things. There's 28 standards that you need to meet, and they spell out the standards pretty clearly. Some of the standards are not a problem. We've already met them. Some of the standards are going to take some changes to meet. So it's just a process, and we try, strive all the time to move toward the accreditation.
Sure. The other 21 211s, are they accredited now? Or?
Some are, and some are in the process like we are. So it just depends on where they are in that process. But yes, definitely.
So this is nationwide. Is this something that eventually will hook every county together, or is that?
Well, there is. USA 211. There already is. That's established, and there's somebody that's from Ohio AIRS that actually serves on that committee. So a lot of people just don't know. If you haven't needed the help, or you're not familiar with the social service network, a lot of people do not know about us, and that's why I'm so glad you asked me to be on this show, because I want people to know about 211. It's all across Ohio, and if you go to another state, then they could possibly have a 211 where you are, and you can call 211. That's the neat thing about 311 and 411, and just to get to be 211 is definitely exciting for us.
Now, if somebody wanted to volunteer to work for information
we
referral?
take volunteers. Now, it depends. A lot of times I'll have people that'll call and they'll say, I really want to volunteer. And I'll say, well, what's your passion? Well, I really like working with women, that have been in a domestic violence situation. So I say, well, let me hook you up with the Lighthouse. See, again, we're always referring. So, but if it's something that they really wanted to do with us, we'd be more than happy.
Is there an age limit for volunteers? They have to be 18, 21?
We would prefer that they are, 18. They had that summer work program through Job and Family last year, and we had a teen, and it worked out great. But with supervision, like that kind of a program would be different. But if somebody were just calling, we would probably prefer that they would be 18.
Well, Molly, we appreciate you coming in today.
Well, this time's gone way too
Well,
fast.
I know, and again, Molly Clark, the Executive Director of 211 Information Referral, is as we used to have 108 West Main Street. Info at Fairfield County 211.org. Is that the website?
Our website is www.fairfieldcounty211.org. The email address, if you want to email us, is info.
At fairfieldcounty211.org.
Right, that's correct.
And you can call 211 or 687-0500, and the mental health crisis line 687-8255.
Or TALK, 687-TALK. And that is 24/7, and we'll definitely take your call and try to help you and warm line you to the hospital if necessary.
And don't forget the Charity Newsies St. Vincent de Paul school close application guideline is on now until August 31st? 13th.
Yeah, 13th is when it ends, and it'll probably end before then because those are the actual appointments. And I don't know that we mentioned about the relationship that we have with St. Vincent, but St. Vincent is doing them for preschool and kindergartners. Mm-hmm. So you can call us and get all the lowdown. We can give you all the information you need about school close this year.
And you'll be able to go, Logan, go to Kmart, pick up your stuff. And well, again, Molly, we appreciate you coming on. And,
thanks so much for having me.
I know you've got a busy schedule today. Are you going back to the country, or are you going to stay in town today?
See, that's the new rule. Once you get here, you stay here. So if I forget something, it's too bad, so sad. I have to wait till the next day, which is so different for me because I was just so close to my other house. So. So I realized I packed my clothes tonight because the grandson starts T-ball, and I'm going to be there.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so.
That's great.
Yep.
Now you have two grandkids?
A granddaughter and a grandson, 1 and 4. They're the best thing that ever happened besides my husband.
Well, that is fantastic.
Yeah.
Again, Molly Clark, we appreciate you coming in.
Well, thanks so much.
Keep us up to date about what's going on, not only with the big red tractor, but all the things at Information Referral 211, and we'll have you back on.
Great.
Maybe towards the end of summer, beginning of summer, we'll get you back
I'll
on.
have lots more to say, so you might as well.
Well, I appreciate it very much.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for tuning in today on Lancaster Perspective. I'm Mike Miller, and remember, until we meet again, let's make a difference.
There are so many fun things we all can do to be healthier, no matter who you are or where you are. So let's move.
Oh, here we go.
Let's stretch in the grass.
What a play.
Let's play tag.
Wow, unbelievable.
Let's jump up and down.
Oh, what a way to finish it.
And most of all, let's eat better so that we have the energy we need to play an hour a day, every day.
Everyone can play. Just go to letsmove.gov to learn more.